Hello, 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 hello. Wherever you are on this breathtaking world we call Earth, I hope you are having a titillating day, evening, night, wherever you located. Today, on my beloved 3D channel, Blender, I'm going to be talking about making realistic cracks procedurally. And I want to go over the snap node. I'm going to try to keep it simple, people, because I don't see a lot of videos that may use a lot like snap nodes, etc. We know about the add node. You know, the multiply node. That math node. We know about that add. We know about that multiply. We know about those. But like I said, I'm gonna try to focus on the snap node and show you how to make procedural realistic cracks. So let's jump right in. Here we go. Like I said, I'm gonna go to shading. Here's my example of cracks with no frills, no drills, no nothing. I just went right to, I added my texture node. Then I added my Roy node. You can scale it, whatever, do whatever you want. You see that? And then I went to the most important part was the color ramp. I'll tell you why. See, without the color ramp, it looks, this how Void node look. And when I have Void node, I have it on 3D. You can put it on 2D. Let me put it on 2D. So you can put it on 2D, 3D, or whatever. I'll leave it on 2D since I have a flat plane. I'll leave it on 2D. But then when it gave me this look and my color ramp, I just drag the color up. I just grab the white and drag it near to the X. Let me see if I can do that. Click on Y. And having trouble, people. And I just dragged it near close to the X. Now, okay, that don't look too realistic. So I guess I'm gonna amp it up. I'm gonna go to 3D to maybe 4D. It look like something, but it don't like cracks the way we look like. It look like cracks. I got it on 3D. Okay, the cracks a little bit more better. But it got some of the lines thicker than others, and it's showing a lot of the shadings. It's showing a lot of the gradient gray there too. And I put it on 4D. Let's see how it look on 4D. Okay, 4D looks about the same as it did in 3D. All right, now I'm gonna go into the node what I had set up to try to make it look more procedural and more realistic. So let me hide plane 2, activate plane 1. Click on plane 1 so I can bring all this node stuff up. Alright, here's my little setup right here. Got it all set up. I'm just going to connect them one by one. First I have the scale node. I made a video on that. Then I have my scale set to 4 because I don't want to have it on no big numbers. I want to keep it simple. Then I'm going to hook it up to the fraction node right here. Hook it up to the fraction node. And then we can see how fraction look. Let's see what effects the fraction gives. Click on fraction, shift, control, click. That's how the fraction look. Now, I'm sure we use the fraction a lot, but I want you to notice this too. The fraction node, it has that. Let me take it back off fraction so we can go back and see how the original. Let me take it off of fraction, if I can. Let me click on my scale, shift, control. That's how it looks. Scale, one big surface area. And when I put it back on fraction, let's see how it looks now. Alright, regular fraction, shift, control, fraction. So we see that. What we see, fraction, it makes it an exact duplicate of each of that first texture that I saw you. Remember when I clicked on scale and then I hit the control shift L, all fraction does is replicate that same thing over and over. So it's nothing distinct. It does a complete replication of that original large texture. That's what fraction does. So you don't have no control over, like here's number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. You have no control over those tiles. They will get the exact same look for all of them. That's what the fraction will do to you. So we're going to see how snap is a little bit different, people. And when I go over snap, I'm going to try to talk in a way that the average person can understand. There's always a technical way that's explained about, hey, how many of us are engineers? How many of us are architects? How many of us are have a math degree? Very few. So I'm going to try to speak. When I go over the snap note, I'm going to try to talk in a way that you can understand. All right, so now I'm gonna hook it up to the I'm on scale. I'm gonna hook it up to the snap node. Let me expand the snap node so I can make sure I hook it up to the right socket. All right, so I'm gonna hook it up to vector. There. Now I'm gonna hit Shift, Control L on that. Oops. Shift, Control right click or left click. There. It looks sort of like the fraction, but I'm going to tell you why. It's different. It's different than a fraction because you see each of these 4 tiles has a distinct look. So they make it almost like a kingdom of its own. Example. Here's number 1. It looks completely different from number 2. Number 2, now all of us are shades of red, but they different intensities of red, so they different. That's what the snap node is doing. It's making them all look different. Here's my next one, and the reason it's red because this is X. You know, because you see my little X, you see the red mark right here, my red line. So this is the X-axis. That's why it's red, and this one is green because it's really on the Y-axis. Even if I move the RAM, but it's still, when they perpendicular to each other, it's X and Y. That's why the Y and Y, if you know, even if, and I'm sure if you're here looking at the shaders, you have basic experience dealing with meshes. You know the X axis is red in Blender, and the Y axis is green, so that's why it's green. And when we get out into the other void between X and Y, it's shades of yellow. Now I discovered the real, when you mix red and green, you're supposed to get brown. But I guess brown looks ugly on here, so they say let's make it yellow. You know, yellow is sort of close to brown, sort of. So here's my A. It looks completely different from B, which looks slightly different from C, which looks slightly different from D. So I'm explaining it, the snap node in the simplest way I can. The snap node basically makes each of those 4, because remember I have it, when I went to scale I have it 4 to keep it simple. You can make it 10 or 20, whatever. I want to keep it simple. But each of my little cubes for the scale of 4, they look slightly different. So in snap mode, each one is slightly different. They're not a complete replica like I saw in fractions. Remember that. So they got their own little identity. So, like I said, I try to explain it the best I can, but without all the technical mumbo jumbo to it. Let's remember, snap node, try to keep each node a separate, unique entity. So now we can keep moving forward, my good people. Now I'm gonna hook it up to Verano. Let me expand this so I can make sure I hook it up to the right thing. I'm gonna take my snap node, hook it up to my Verano texture. Then I'm gonna click on this, shift, control, click. Now we see that. Now you see the Verona texture. This is how it looks when it's connected to the snap node. But you see, it's different intensities of gray. Each of them, it's its own unique thingamajig. Its own. So we got that out the way. I can minimize this now and just keep going down my line. Well, what I say? My Verona node, I'm gonna separate this X, Y, Z is only one socket, so this is easy. And then if you want to, you can play around with the scale and all that stuff. You see that? All scale doing is, like I still have my 4 snap sections there. All this just doing it in different colors intensity. That's all I was going to do. Randomize and the scale. That's all it does. When I have a Verona hooked up to snap. That's all it's going to do. So I'm just going to hook. Let me minimize so I can see what I'm doing. Connect the color to color. I minimize it. Click on it. Let's shift control, left click. It's basically still the same, but you see now the colors are even more distinct. The grays are even more distinct than they stand out. But I said they all their own little island. I live in America, so I can say each one of us is on. In America, it's 50 states. So I can say each of these is its own state, using the United States terminology, or its own fiefdom, or own serfdom, whatever you want to call it. It's its own. All right, so we hook that up. Make this so I can make sure I'm hooking up to the right thing. Now I want to hook it up to my add vector. Oh, brother. Oh, I know why. I want to hook up red to here. Click on this. And then I want to take my fraction. Now the fraction and the snap node, they have a tight relationship. They are. So the snap node is still going to need that fraction, because the fraction will definitely break them up into 4 pieces. Definitely. But let me just click right here and see what happened when I just do this. I got on the add, click, so nothing changed. Let me add the fraction to it. It probably still won't change much. Oh, so the fraction now is slightly adding some color shades to it. Or basically, with that fraction hooked up, it's going back to, you remember that original node I showed you with the fractions? Like up here. Now they're still sort of distinct, but some things are similar to each other. This is similar to this. They are distinct though, because you can see up here is a different intensity of, it's more reddish here. This one is sort of light, but it's still close. So the fraction and the snap node with the add node combined. I could have used the mix node too, you got me, or the mix, but I just used the add. But they combined. I could have used the mix node, but I didn't. That would have did the job too. I might do that later on. All right, so let's go back down here. So we got them add. I'm gonna click back up here to my Verona. Now see I have to use Verona again because this is another output for it. You could have used, now you said I could have used any type of texture, but I said I want to make cracks. And with the Verona, I said I had it on that. I better go over here and put it on. I want to put it on distance to edge. That will help. See, that's helping me make my fraction stuff. Over here, I want to put it on. I already got it set for distance to edge. I hope this work out now. I hope it don't screw up on me. I hope not. All right, now I want to hook this up to my Verona. Hook it up right there, and let's see how this looks now. Shift, control, left click. Okay, it's slowly coming along. It looks different than the way I want it though. I'm gonna have to experiment on these people and see what's going on with this stuff. Let me come back up here and see it. I'll leave it on distance to edge. Distance to edge, because that's what I had it on earlier. But separate XYZ is not connected. I have to connect the Verona to the. So, but you know, it's always something, people. Always something. Okay, there. Good. You know, it's always something that you got to figure out what's wrong. Now, let me zoom into this, and let's see that you can tell. You already can tell. Since it's going from the let me give an example. It's going through the snap node. It's going. That's a snap node. Everything is connected to the snap node. So you see, the snap node is making each of those things up there. For the Verona, they look separate. And we're gonna take a closer look and see. Here's one little section right here. I'll click on this section. And I'm just gonna choose any section at random. And I'm gonna click on this section right here. I can definitely tell. Like I say, each of with the snap node, each of them is his own little island or own little state. I can tell. Look up here. You see this little section right up in here? I do not see that section over here. So I know the snap node has made each of these sections unique. They're not replicas of each other, as we saw with the fraction node. If I would use the fraction node, you would have seen instantly that they are complete duplicates. But with the snap node, you can see everything looks chaotic. It looks chaotic and it looks connected. Now here comes our magic now. So I got that hooked up. Now I'm gonna connect this to the. I'm gonna hook it up to my color ramp. This is gonna make our little cracks right here. The color ramp is gonna make them cracks. And I'm gonna hook the color ramp. I'm gonna click on color ramp. Shift Control. Click on color ramp. And there we go. Now it don't like no cracks yet. But when I adjust this white and put it close to the X, close to the black, it will be turning more and more like a crack. As you can see right there, look, it's getting like oh my God, look at that. It look like crack. It look like a crack. And I can control the intensity of it. Now, let's go back and check which one looks more organic. I already can tell. Like a real crack, you see right here, is not connected. Everything is not connected. It's not connected there. When I go further down, I see two lines here. And look at this. Look at these two lines right here. Be close to each other. The Verno, no, don't do that. Look at right here. Look right here. It got a V shape. The Verno, no, don't do that. And like I see right here again, this line right here is not, and I should change my color to something else, like red or something. Hold on, people. Let me hit N. Let me go back to tools. Let me change this to red so we can see a little bit more. Okay, yeah, we can see a little bit more better now. All right, so we see that. Look up here. It's not connected to another edge. So cracks in real life look like that. They're not always connected. Right here, it's not connected. And sometimes you may have a double crack. Some of these cracks are double. All right, so we see now from this point how our cracks look. And let's make a comparison. Let me hide this one. Hide it. And bring back my first one. Here are the cracks here. Look at the cracks there. All the lines are definitely connected. All of them. Some lines are double on each other. And plus I don't like that little gradient right there too. The other one didn't have no gradient. Not much. It didn't have much of a gradient. But the cracks here, nothing is hanging off in space like a line like this. No line is like that. And a real crack, everything is not always connected like this. Let's go back to my other one. Let me hide it back again. Oh, click this one. So look at it. See, this looks far more organic and real. And the closer, and both of them did use the color ramp. But I'm not saying if you want to make a quick crack, you could have used the other one that I had. But this one is more procedural and more better. Now you know I can do other stuff to it, but I just want to show you how to make cracks, because eventually you can put certain cracks in certain tile. But that's a lesson for another day. I ain't gonna go into the day. Thank you for stopping by, good people, on this little lesson right here on how to make cracks. And for the most part, when I use the color ramp, you don't see them little cubes like when I did that. Now you're starting to see the cube shapes up here now. I can see the cubes. Right there, I can see that them little cubes. I see them little cubes. I see them cubes. But when I adjust the Verno down, son, the cubes fade and the lines stay exactly alike. To my eyes, this looks a little bit more organic. I ain't saying it's perfect yet, but it's a start for you to sample and do more. Thank you for stopping by. To my new people, like to say, don't stop, keep pushing, keep learning. Grow and expand every day. Till the next time, 2D family, peace. Oh Lord, I did the wrong thing. Alright, I'm done, Bubba. You can turn the radio back on. Thank you for your cooperation.